Last night was the Grammys, so let's talk about that Prince tribute. Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. And last night, the Grammys were pretty entertaining, actually. They got Alicia Keys back to host again because she did such an amazing job last year. And, there were some pretty good performances. One of those performances, of course, was the Prince tribute preview, which included Usher, backed by Sheila E, and also had a feature with FKA Twigs. First off, I want to say, I thought it was pretty decent. There was nothing necessarily wrong with it, but I definitely do have some thoughts. So, as always, if you like the channel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you always know when Prince's Friend releases a new video. Consider checking out patreon.com/princessfriend or hitting the join button below this video to become a YouTube member. Both of those help support the channel. Alright, so let's go ahead and start with Usher. First off, I apologize for not having any footage of the performance in this video. If I put it into the video, it gets blocked. A lot of people were very angry that Usher was going to be doing a Prince tribute. Everybody's like, what does Usher have to do with Prince? He was more about Michael Jackson and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm sure he was influenced by both. MJ and Prince have actually influenced a lot of our modern artists today. It would be really hard to kind of get away from that sort of thing. So I kind of gave it to him. I was like, you know what, Usher? You're gonna do well. And I'm like, well, Usher can dance. He's gonna get up there, he's gonna do his stuff, and it's gonna be awesome. Well, he got up there, and I felt like he was actually focusing more on trying to hit the notes and trying to get the singing right. Because if you know anything about Prince's voice and Usher's voice, they are very different. So trying to tackle a Prince song from Usher's range is really, really difficult. So there wasn't as much dancing and moving around and stuff. And that was a stylistic choice. He did have Sheila E backing him up, which I thought was pretty cool. But the show, I don't think, was as dynamic as I've seen Usher be. Now that said, he sang the songs pretty darn well. I was actually really impressed with his falsetto when he was doing Kiss. It didn't sound really terrible like how when some people do it. The three songs that were sang were Little Red Corvette, When Doves Cry, and then Kiss. And I think that he did better at Kiss than he did at the other two. I think he did Little Red Corvette good, When Doves Cry was okay, and then I think he kind of knocked it out of the park with Kiss. Now, obviously, you know me, I'm gonna say something about song choice right now, and that's that we have to get away from the 80s, y'all. Seriously. Because Alicia Keys introduced him and said, so let's go crazy with Usher and Sheila E and FKA Twigs. And I'm like, okay, cool. I thought they were going to do Let's Go Crazy. I even actually read an article leading up to this saying, Let's Go Crazy, they're gonna do that song. And they didn't. They didn't do Let's Go Crazy. I was like, ooh, that was an interesting choice. Maybe it didn't end up working out, I don't know. But it was off-putting for me, obviously, because I'm looking for these tributes to be truer to Prince's entire legacy, not just the 80s. Sheila E is the musical director, so I was hoping for maybe something a little bit more eclectic. Maybe since they only had 3 songs, they wanted all 3 songs to be ones that were like really well known, to really make a big pop. But I will say that if this song selection is any kind of telling as to what we're going to get from the full tribute, I'm probably going to be on here the day after that tribute griping about song selection again. And I'm sure you're all really tired of hearing me say it, but I feel it needs to be said. Prince was not just the 80s, y'all, seriously. For instance, I could have seen Usher doing a badass version of Musicology. I would have actually liked to have heard that, yeah. So moving on from Usher and song selection, Sheila E, I noticed that there were a whole lot of people online saying that Sheila E should have been highlighted more. And you know what? I'm not really sure. But honestly, I feel like Sheila knows what she's there to do. She is kind of being the band leader, so if she's not going to be up front singing and stuff, she's mostly in the back. And I was actually watching her, and she was like doing the times and, like and like I saw her kind of cueing off the rest of the band, and I think everybody was kind of following her. So I have no problem with the way that she approached it. And again, she's the musical director of all this stuff, Prince. So if she's not in the front, it's because she chose to not be in the front. It's not Grammys doing that to her. I also noticed that as much as the spotlight was on Usher, the spotlight was also on Sheila to highlight that she was there and she was singing the background vocals and all of that stuff. The 5 or 6 actual background singers didn't get a spotlight, and the rest of the band didn't get a spotlight, but Sheila did. So I feel like they highlighted her as much as they technically could with this short little tribute of 3 songs. It wasn't terrible. And again, I would have chosen different songs, but that's neither here nor there. The last component to this was FKA Twigs. And I saw a lot of people going, nobody needs anybody on a stripper pole. And I'm like, oh gosh, Alright, so if you don't know anything about FKA Twigs, first off, she's amazing. She's a great singer, songwriter, performer, all of that stuff. Secondly, a lot of her performance comes from that physicality and her ability to do gymnastics, twirling, pole dancing, all of these things. These are all parts of her artistry, so I would not discount this as she's just dancing on a stripper pole. Like, I don't know if you saw some of the stuff that she was doing on there, but oh my gosh. Also, she was only doing that for the first song, and then afterwards, she jumped off and she was dancing, and she danced with Usher, and I think that she really kind of added something visually to the show. I did hear that she wanted to be included and to sing, but that they couldn't fit it in at the last minute. They really did decide that they wanted Usher to really kind of take the forefront, and she kind of became like the girl with the black lace over her head, but she didn't need that. She had the white lace and she had the black jacket, and she was hitting all the notes and she was doing all the stuff. I mean, she knocked it out of the park on her end, I think as far as she could, not being one of the people who was singing. So yeah, everybody who's griping about FKA Twigs, stop that. She's amazing. Go check out her music because she is wonderful. I may have to do a review of her soon. So there was a bunch of dancing, there was lights, and then at the end, an image of Prince comes on the screen and everybody points up to that. I thought that was really good. It was a great reverence for Prince as a musician and as a legend, and I honestly overall came away from this 3-song tribute pretty okay with it. I was pretty happy with it, and despite the fact that there were only the 3 songs and they were 2 from Purple Rain, 1 from Parade, I also think that Usher did a really good job singing them. I thought that the performance was entertaining and engaging. FKA Twigs had a lot to do with that, and in the end, I thought it was pretty darn good. What did you guys think, though? Let me know about that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. Follow us on social media. That's @PrincessFriendYT on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out the Patreon or become a YouTube member. And I'm really excited to hear your guys' thoughts on this tribute because I think it was a good preview to what we're gonna get. Otherwise, may you live to see the dawn. Love you all.